Okay, this is take like 892, but I think we got the angle right. So I will start by introducing myself. Hi everyone, I'm Jen Pickett. I am a recovered commercial fisherman from Alaska. And like most fishermen, I have selective memory, and what I write is not selected into my memory. So I will be reading it to you today, which is why I'm not always looking at the camera. I apologize. I've spent the last hour and a half trying to get the angle correct, but this is the best we got and we're running out of light, so we gotta go. Okay, I will start with this one. It's called The Ocean of Blue, and it was published this year in the Pilot House Guide. And this one is derived from The Garden of Love, which is a poem by William Blake. And it's called The Ocean of Blue. I went to the ocean of blue and saw what I never had seen. A plastic flotilla was floating in lieu. There used to be life of marine. And the bars of the watershed were closed, and life shan't pass, wrote in a gyra of debris. So I turned to the ocean of blue that so many had fished before me, and I saw it was filled with plastics, bags and bottles where fish should be, and fishermen in their black gowns were mourning their fishing grounds and the marine litter that chokes their joy and their sea. Okay, now that we got the depressing political piece out of the way, I'm gonna bump it up a little bit because I'm here in Brussels. We're on lockdown, and my mental health is the buoyancy is bucking tide a little bit. So I'm gonna pick this up a little bit and read you one about the first time I thought I was gonna die. Called The Princess and the Bird. I hate waking up in a panic, but the predicaments one can wake up in when fishing in Alaska are truly endless. I was 28, a brand new skipper with a new loan and an old boat, all to be paid off, one fish at a time. I needed to keep fishing. I had been drifting and dreaming, with visions of salmon dancing in my head, when I was jolted out of my slumber by Lenny calling me on the VHF. Pickett, wake up. There's a cruise ship coming around the corner. A cruise ship? What do I care? I'm fishing. I have the right of way. He'll go around. I don't answer. I go back to my sleep, of only 2 hours. I don't even get out of the bunk. A few minutes later, Pickett, wake up. There's a cruise ship coming around the corner. I peek out my stern window, my squinty eyes into the morning sun from my bunk. And sure enough, there's a cruise ship. He's heading right for me. My heart sinks as a spike of adrenaline passes through me, and I am awake now. I spring out of the bunk and fire up the engine and hop into my rain gear that I keep fireman style for occasions such as this. There's no time to call this ship on the radio. There's no time for him to change course, let alone stop. There's no time to let my engine warm up. I turn on my hydros and go out on deck, and I feel the cold, crisp, glaciated air of Prince William Sound slap my cheeks. I start reeling in my net and picking fish as fast as I can. And I have to say, I don't say this too often, but luckily it wasn't a very good set. And I realize I don't have time to pick fish and just start drumming everything aboard my bow picker. I turn around and look up my cabin, straight up at the bow of this cruise ship. Oops, sorry about the paper. And this wasn't a Phillips Day liner. This was a 1,000-foot long, 200-foot tall wall of steel heading straight for me about 30 knots. I bump up my hydros and put the boat in reverse so the net will tighten and hopefully, for the first time, fit with fish on board. And for a moment, time stops. And I think, really? This is it? This is how I go. I don't even get the privilege of being taken by a wave and Kokahini like the most dangerous bar on the Copper River Delta, like so many great fishermen before me. I end up getting splattered like a bug on the bow of a tacky cruise ship with rainbow happy colors and the word princess painted on the side. I want a more honorable death. I rev up the engine and bump up the hydros again. I've only been on deck a few minutes and watching this giant wall of metal getting bigger and bigger, closer and closer. There's no question left in my mind. I am dead center in its path, and if I don't get out of the way, I will be run over. My hydros are now screaming, and I hope I don't blow a hose. Water, jellyfish, blood, slime, fish, seaweed flying everywhere. Fish are smacking. The deck as they're coming around my drum, thud, thud, thud. Oh, there's a king. I grab my knife, prepared to cut myself free from my net. It's the only one I have. I don't really want to do this, but I'm running out of options. And then, all of a sudden, bang! My end buoy hits the deck with a thud. It bounces aboard like a basketball over my reel. My net is in, but I'm still in this guy's path. I rush into the cabin and turn the hydros off, and I think I really need to get that damn outside hydro switch fixed. And I race back out on deck. I turn the wheel hard to put the throttle down as far as it'll go. My diesel engine roars to life. I feel the bow rise and the stern squat down as I pick up speed. As soon as I get my boat turned around, I take it out of gear and start climbing up a 6-foot wave, his bow wake. And then a 5-footer, and a 4-footer, a 3-footer, each wave smaller than the last. The adrenaline drains from my body. My hot tears drain from my eyes down my cold cheeks. My legs turn to rubber. My knees give out, and I sit on my fish hole and I cry. And through my blurry eyes, I see a giant wall of white. About less than 100 feet away, it fills my entire field of vision. The playful colors on the side of the ship mock me. I see a passenger having breakfast. She waves at me, not knowing her vacation almost just killed me. And there was only one way I could think to let her know that. So I raised my orange gloved hand and let her know and gave that princess the bird. Thank you. I might have one more. I think I'm running out of time, but just in case. This one is called Free. It's about seining herring in Togiak. Getting launched from my bunk in Shelikoff Straits, hours upon hours, not sitting up straight. The ramming, the jamming of the metal, the reaming, the screaming, the skipper, the engines, hope of redeeming yet another season. The cold wind, the cold water, the eyes full of jelly, all this misery for fish for our bellies. The sore arms, the sore back, the sore neck, the numb hands that won't work, the moldy cheese and boxed milk, and the cook is a jerk. The smell of diesel and the gurry and the funk, it follows me all the way to my bunk. My sleeping bag smells like an engine rag, and that damn forecastle's done gone to the drags. No rest, no sleep, no fish, no money. Weeks out at sea, no word from my honey. But works for jerks is my motto. No stinking 9 to 5 for me. I make my living on the ocean, and often I work for free. Thanks, everybody.